Most pest control businesses trying to get more leads, more clients from Google or from AIs are missing one critical component when it comes to crafting a strategy that will actually get them those results and not burn money on their marketing. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that is and how you can do things in a much more effective way to actually be at the top of Google and be recommended as much as possible by AIs. All right, so what is this thing that we have here? This is the layout, okay, on Google for pest control Phoenix. I'm using Phoenix as an example. Okay, I'm going to use a fictitious brand. As always in these case studies, if you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Alejandro Mayahans. I've been doing SEO for a decade. For the last 4 years, running a multi-million-dollar link building agency that gets loads of results like this one's on the screen here for our clients. And in this video series, every day I do a different niche, a different city, and I show you how to rank #1. So if you like what you're seeing, subscribe. Now, as you see down here, okay, loads of related queries. This is from the Ahrefs search bar. You normally won't see this, right? Same as some of these data points here. Don't worry about it if this is the first time that you see this. I'm gonna cover everything and just give you the actual math and the breakdown of what you need to do to rank. First thing, we need to have a quick analysis and understanding of what's Google showing and where can we as a pest control business show here, because Google has a bit of diversity that's baked in. What does this mean? Yelp, review company aggregator, that's baked in. If you're not like Yelp, that position is not for you. People also ask, beautiful, you can be here, okay? Things that will get you here, proper configuration, as in like the breakdown of the content on your pages, the FAQs, that kind of stuff, right? If you can answer these questions, a lot of this is now AI overview powered, okay? So you have to look at where these AI overviews are pulling all the data, right? It says, okay, and then see how you can be answering what's the hardest pest to get rid of. See if you can be publishing content of this nature on your site to be featured here. Next, what do we have? Reddit. Again, forums, Reddit quota, and so forth. Reddit, of course, is the favorite, hard baked into the algorithm. And now we find the first actual business, the first pest control business in the result in position 3, okay? Relatively low DR, domain rating, domain strength, right? With pretty good site traffic, okay? 2,000 organic clicks a month, Ahrefs reckons. The value here that shows this $16,000 is how much that traffic would cost if it was all produced in the sponsor results. Okay, right now I don't have ads in these results. I'm using a VPN. Typically you don't get ads here, so it's showing a cleaner layout. Okay, some related stuff. Another company here in position #4, position 5, position 6. So all the actual companies are showing below the other results. That isn't always like this. Every single niche is different, every single keyword is different, and the layout changes over time. How do we know that? Okay, well, if you have access to Ahrefs, you can look here. If not, I can show you these things. There's a link in the description of this video where you can book a call with us and go through this. But fundamentally, here, this is Ahrefs, right? This is the, let's say, the back-end analysis of what's going on here. Ahrefs says, oh, this is a very hard keyword. It's not. I'll show you how to do it. Right, search volume, crazy good, right? Second traffic potential, 1.6 thousand clicks just from these keywords here. And then we have, you know, exterminator version, bed bugs, all the other stuff, right? And a CPC of $10. Okay, so like 16 grand a month in Google Ads. Let's see if we can get at the top of Google for less than that and get better results for our marketing. And this is what I wanted to show you before I show you this math here, which breaks down exactly the links that you are going to need to outrank these particular competitors. This is, I'm using this as an example. This is a quantitative analysis, okay? This has nothing to do with how good these businesses are, their website, none of that stuff. This is exclusively for the mathematical part. But before I jump here and I show you how you can calculate these for your brand and figure out where you are, where the competitors are, what's the gap, and the best way to bridge that gap, have a video that will put there on the corner called How Many Links Do I Need to Rank #1. You can go through that process yourself manually. But first, let me show you this. This is just a couple days ago, okay? At the time of recording this, right, is the seconds of the second. Hello, 2-2, the ducks, we call it in Spanish, okay? And this is just from a couple of days ago, and you can already see some changes here, okay? Yelp is down technically. Ahrefs says that Phoenix Pest is higher. So you can see again, this is constantly jumping, right? The people also ask, wasn't there before a couple days ago, right? But I wanted to show you this report between the 28th, when we pull the data on who is right now ranking, and today there's been some massive changes on the SERP. And this is important, and it illustrates one point, right? You have to look not just at the snapshot in the here and now, but a bit of what's happening, so you choose the right competitors to reverse engineer, because you cannot reverse engineer effectively 20 competitors. It's gonna get you worse results than if you focus on the 3 that are actually the strongest. Just a few days ago, Blue Sky Pest was at the top here. And now they drop a few positions. Mox Services has appeared out of nowhere, okay? Almost somewhere in page 2, I guess. And some of the shuffles, okay? This guy is kind of stable, right? Phoenix Pest has risen tremendously. What does this tell me? Number one, Moxie Services, I believe they're a larger competitor. They're not just based in Phoenix, right? If my business is only in a city, I have to look at competitors that are only in that city, right? Urban, Blue Sky, Greenleaf, Action Thermite Control, Phoenix Pest. Okay. If I see these guys moving up, I definitely have to look at them. If I see these guys here used to be at the top, they're still on page 1, and they happen to be some of the most recommended brands, right? Atomic Pest Control, okay, never seen these guys before, right? But Blue Sky, very frequently recommended in AIs. I'm going to show you also what happens here. Okay, Greenway, Responsible Pest, Moxie, interesting, very different results in Perplexity, right? But Claude is also saying Blue Sky at the top. And then Frontino and Insect Pest, which I haven't seen that often. So I'm going to also show you in this video how AIs choose their answers and just how much they change every single time they ask. I believe if I was to ask this again, this was last night, right? When I pulled this and I prepared all these steps here. If I was to ask again, I believe I might get some completely different recommendations. Let's try that. Let me repeat the exact same question. Okay, one more time here. Let's see if the results change. I'm not even gonna tell ChatGPT which one of the 2 answers I like more, but it's a great case that it's giving me 2 answers. That's also so different. And you can see really how AIs actually recommend businesses. But in terms of choosing which competitors to actually go into full depth reverse engineering, content, backlinks, and brand volume. These are 3 quantifiable things that you can always look at to know what you have to do to rank. This part is the single most important part of an effective SEO and GEO campaign. If you skip the intelligence part of the 5 layers of effective execution, okay, you have theory, this is how the thing works, SEO works like this, right? Then you get intelligence, okay, these are the competitors winning. Then you craft a strategy, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And then you execute, okay, the techniques to get those links, to publish that content, the way that you publish that content, great stuff. And then you're gonna learn, right? That's the last step. The intelligence part, provided that you have your theory, right, is where everything hinges. You get that part wrong, you get the wrong intelligence, you hit the wrong targets. Okay, so I'm going to choose for my analysis here Blue Sky, Phoenix Pest, and we also chose here Greenleaf. Greenleaf was doing better a few days ago when I was looking at this. Is also the winner when it comes to Bing. Bing, tremendously underrated, still has more traffic and refers more clicks and more leads and more conversions than ChatGPT, but people will still continue to ignore it, even though it's like 4 times as big as ChatGPT. That's okay. I won't ignore it. Okay, I'm a numbers driven guy. I like my logic to be grounded on numbers, and the numbers tell me that I have to look at what's happening in Bing. And then Phoenix Pest Control again, Angie's List. Don't care, right? Exterminator call. First time we see it. Call exterminators, right? This is the competitive landscape. This is the actual now. Orkin and Greenleaf. When I checked here, right, a bit earlier, it was Phoenix Pest, Greenleaf, which I'm gonna ignore for the reverse engineering, and Blue Sky. So Blue Sky, Phoenix Pest, Greenleaf, and I would say I could also reverse engineer Urban Pest. Okay, but I want to keep it at 3, make this video a bit shorter. Okay, I already given you 10 minutes of context before I show you the math. Let's look at the math. This is what you need to do. Why is Phoenix Pest winning? Why was Blue Sky Pest winning? most likely go back to win again. Okay, remember there's a lot of volatility, and Greenleaf. One thing that you can see here very quickly, these two sites have relatively the same amount of link points in their profile, but Pest is weaker when it comes to the link profile domain than them, but they have one massive advantage, is a partial match, almost an exact match domain. Okay, Pest, I cannot overemphasize just how strong partial match and exact match domains are right now, and this is because of brand volume. We're gonna get there into a second. Why, Alejandro, you're saying link points and not just links? And how comes Blue Sky here only has 11, what's this, 16, 19, 28, 48? What do you mean only 48 link points when I come here to Ahrefs? Ahrefs is telling me that they have 449 domains. What's the other 90% of the backlink profile? Am I working with wrong data? Am I ignoring the data? No. When you come here to this list, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you already know this, right? You will see, hey, tons of links for Blue Sky Pest. Amazing. When you filter them by traffic, all these referring domains, you don't look at the raw backlinks, you look at referring domains. All this list of referring domains very quickly, okay? Many of these domains don't really have any amount of traffic that I care for. Traffic equals trust. If a domain has zilch search traffic, like these ones here and below, as you can see, also flagged as spam by Ahrefs, which means this Ahrefs knows it's spam. Believe me, Google knows it's spam. Okay, all this stuff here is worth absolutely less than zero. Okay, it's worth less than zero. I don't care if they do follow none of the other stuff. And then the ones that do have traffic and are legit, even some like this, I care if they're the follow and they actually rank for real keywords. And this DR versus traffic numbers also make sense because sometimes they don't. Okay, so with all of that, right, I'm applying our world famous TAR framework, okay, sticky stuff, traffic first, then authority, and then we multiply for relevance, which you are going to see down below here. All right, this is our scoring system. So this is our fictitious brand, okay, Maya Hans Pest Control Phoenix, beautiful, right? Let's say this is your brand, right? You have an up-and-coming brand, or maybe you're very well established, but your SEO is weak. You haven't really been pushing much there because you were doing great with referrals and ads and email. Okay, it doesn't matter, right? Maybe you crack the social media code by publishing tons of videos of the work that you do before and after, that kind of stuff. Amazing. But you're tired of chasing the leads and you just want to be at the top and just have the leads come to you, right? This could be one such case. And so what we do here is we look at the trusted links that then we've segmented by the appropriate authority strength, and then we multiply by a factor of relevance. Links come from pages that live within a website. So we look at these two layers. If the page has something to do with my business, either geographically or context-wise, amazing, 1 point. If the website is also relevant, another point. Only one of them, 1 point. Neither of them, but the domain is trusted, half a point, still good. I would rather take an irrelevant link from a highly trusted site, like I always use this example, like NASA. I don't know why NASA would link to a pest control business, but if NASA links to you, you're gonna say, oh, that's a bad link, let me disavow it. No, you won't. I'd rather take that, right, than a link from a site that's called, pest control, bestpestcontrolbusinesses.com that has zero traffic and a DR 90, because I know that DR is fake and the traffic says that Google hates the website anyway. So I don't care that the link is relevant in that case. That makes sense? Beautiful. So now, knowing that little snapshot there, if I make a quick average, okay, the average winning competitor has these many links, points, contextualized, okay, not just raw links. You cannot do that. And I'm here. So my gap is this. This is a starting point, how many links of what particular kind I need to be acquiring, trusted, authoritative. This is just how authoritative they need to be, right? Relevant, this is just how relevant they have to be, either both website and page, one of them, neither of them, but really high trust, also valid, right? It means I need to get more links, right? This is how many links I need to get of each kind to bridge the gap against the winning guys at the top of page one. Amazing, very straightforward math. Another big question that we get, right, from either businesses coming to us or even agency partners that says, okay, Alejandro, you take care of the links, you take care of the map packs, the content, the website, all that stuff, you do the links. Is those links that we said that we're gonna need, what kind of websites do we get them from, number one, and then what should the anchor text say, right? Because I want to rank for Pest Control Phoenix. Should I get how many links to the homepage and how many to the service page? And we also have these 5 location pages. This solves all of that, okay? If it's the first time that you see this, it's called the link report. You can get yourself one in the link on the description of this video, and it shows you the math, okay? Pest Control Phoenix, okay, this is the exact URLs ranking at the time that we pull this report, which interestingly, there was even more volatility, right? So you can see some other competitors that weren't there in our analysis. Phoenix Pest is the one that, given this volatility here, which I don't trust so much, and because they're inner pages, I'm gonna ignore them. They're not comparable, right? This is a home page. This is a home page. This is comparable, apples to apples. Beautiful. I have a couple of links already. What are these guys doing? Okay, these guys have these many links pointing to the homepage. Again, points, okay? Why am I ignoring these all the time? Because these links are very weak. And just with 1 or 2 more on the right side here, I can now do tens of these. You only build these links after all of your gap here is being completely cleared. And if you're still not ranking, then you go and you acquire a bunch of the, the lower value links just to make sure that your profile matches the winning profiles, not because by themselves they have a lot of ranking power. Let me go ahead and let's say this is all zeros and build 2, 2, 5, 16, okay, 24 links to my homepage. We said, let's go and build these links here to my homepage. Do I point them all with this anchor text? Big question. The answer is absolutely not, right? You can at most point this many, and you're gonna need some branded links, right? 0 exact match. You will need some branded links. And there's a fair amount of URL. This is citations, okay? If it's naked URL, it's most likely citations. Miscellaneous, click here, visit website, that kind of stuff. Citations also. So yes, by all accounts, go get a truckload of simple, clean, straightforward business citations pointed to your homepage, but then get some strong contextual relevant links pointing to your homepage, and you can be aggressive with your partial match. Every niche is different. I suggest in general, always be aggressive with your brand because it's safer. You can never get in trouble by sending links with your brand name. These guys cannot do branded links because their brand is the keyword, Phoenix Pest. Now, what happens if I look at termite control? Okay, these guys, again at the top, action termite, inner page, hard. Blue sky pest with an inner page. This is actually our comparable competitor here. This is not comparable, this is just termites, right? This is again, Phoenix Pest, overpowered, homepage, inner page, inner page. Okay, now what have these guys done when it comes to the termite page? A great deal of nothing. This is wide open. In this case, I would build to this page some links. Of course, this is all fake data, right? For these fictitious brands, right? In most cases, you will find, businesses will have a big fat 0 here and here. Then you go and build 1 or 2 links. What about if I look for exterminator, right? You have to see if anything changes. Then we have our exterminators, spray pest, different competitors, okay? The meaning ultimately is the same. You're gonna see these guys again. Now, rodent control, again, another service. What do we see? Completely different competitors, but these guys are the constant. This is why I chose to reverse engineer these guys, right? You have to look at multiple keywords. What competitors are constantly there? And then when you drop them into Ahrefs, they have tons of traffic. Are they growing up? Then, okay, are they growing in traffic and in search? Then pay attention to what they do and reverse their math. But they also have nothing. So go ahead and build a few links to your inner pages, right? Scorpion control. Again, scorpion control. Very consistent, well thought through. One problem, one page. One problem, one page, and just publish all of them. And that's getting them really good results, right? Even though each one of these sub keywords is going to have some dedicated competitors. Greenleaf also doing it very well. Scorpion control. Pretty dependent, I assume, to the location, right? And again, nothing, a great deal of nothing, okay? Very, very common for a local SEO when you see even very strong competitors say this is pretty well established already. Most of these inner pages for different services, different problems are most likely gonna have no internal links whatsoever. That's your winning ticket. Start covering the gap there, build some links to the homepage, you'll be winning. Now, I promised you earlier that I will give you more than the link building math. This is the very straightforward path, and it's not the full picture because brands have more things going on than just, right, we were saying, just the links. Here, we also look at something else. How many pages do these brands have? Blue Sky Pest has published 276 pages between some informational content, like, how do cockroaches get inside my house, follow better the beetle, right? So different varieties of pests and whatnot. They publish a lot of this, like, top of the funnel stuff, right? But they also have a lot of these, okay, how to kill scorpions the DIY way. It's a page supporting their scorpion pest control page. Very good topical map. A video here on how you can create topical maps in under 20 minutes with ChatGPT, right? How many pages does Phoenix Pest have? 45. So you don't need that many if you have a partial match domain, right? And how many pages does Greenleaf have? 100 pages. So, okay, anything between 50 and 250 pages, which means if you have an up-and-coming business and there's only 20 pages on your domain, and we saw earlier, you're gonna need about 50 really strong links to rank, about 25 to your homepage and the rest to the rest of your website. If you have 10 domains and 10 pages, you're just too short, right? That's the gap. That's why you have to keep pushing. It's not because, the technical guy figuring your website on your menus is not doing it right. It's because you have a gap on the quantifiable strength. But there's one more thing that you have to look at. When you look at the keywords, right, that they are ranking for, you have to look at also how well established is the entity. Okay, so you come here to the keywords and you start looking here until you find this. The entity for the brand. So it's branded, has a little entity thingy, right? You click on this and it's going to tell you just how much search volume this entity has. Yes, this is as far as Ahrefs knows. It's always going to be incomplete. If you look at your Search Console, you likely have a lot more branded traffic than Ahrefs says that you have. That's fine. But we have to use what we have, right? We don't have Search Console access to our competitors. That'd be funny. Beautiful. About 200. Let's summarize, 180, okay? About 200. That's how much brand search weight they have. What about Phoenix Pest? Let's see if there is an entity for that. Phoenix Pest and Termite Control. The entity does exist. Okay, as far as Ahrefs has identified it. Okay, not that much, only 30. Okay, Greenleaf, very strong, very strong volume. But as you can see here, lots of different query types, which also tells you that they're very established. People are looking for the phone number, reviews, login panel. Okay, these tells me in general they have a stronger brand entity, which will help as well for AI. So we're looking at probably 3,000. So okay, they're 10 times larger than Blue Sky and multiple times larger than Phoenix Pest. Phoenix Pest is doing really good in organic because, again, the exact match. And then you cannot ignore the fact that maybe the homepage is just generally better optimized on the on page than all the other guys are. And you can analyze that by just running your homepage through something like Page Optimizer Pro. Greenleaf, as you see, killing it on Bing, #1. After I requeried, right, it's giving me a slightly different competitors. Blue Sky, Burns, Action. Before, right, it gave me 2 answers, and it gave me Atomic, Urban, and West. Completely different, but also told me Blue Sky, Burns, and Action. So what does this tell me about the consistency in AI search? Greenway, haven't seen them before in Google. Responsible Pest and Scorpion, and Moxie. Where is this possibly coming from? Moxie we see here on the map pack, Burns, Moxie, right? So we can see AI also being influenced by the map pack as well as the organic results. And last for Claude, right? On the first run, it said Blue Sky, Insect Tech, Frontino. On the second run, it say Billy's, Blue Sky, and Green Home, right? If you look at why, you can always ask why these over the others, and it's going to tell you certain things, okay? This is why I filtered them out. Newer companies, they are trusted less. Good reviews, shorter track record, okay? Specialized operators, thinner online review histories. You have to have consensus of reviews and a lot of reviews. All of this is its own narrative based on signals that they read. They don't know if Blue Sky excels at transparency and communication. They don't actually know. They haven't interacted with the brand. So they're pulling this from what people are saying on reviews and also what the brand themselves are saying on their website. And if you put all that together, it says, yeah, this is consistent, I'll say the same. AIs don't want to say something that is groundbreaking, unique, and contradicting everyone. They want to agree. To summarize, you want to put your pest control business here at the top of search and save tens of thousands of dollars in Google PPC. You should also be running just to complement the amount of volume of leads that you capture. Then the way is straightforward. Choose the actual 3 competitors that matter most, reverse engineer them for links, content, and brand volume. Put all of those as a benchmark, catch up with those while you also take care of your technical, the actual content on your pages, the UX. I have another video there called Stop Building Links Until You Fix This. So make sure that, before you spend 20 grand on link building, you also go and you fix that. And hopefully with this video, I gave you a good overview of sort of like the process behind getting actionable intelligence in order to put together a campaign. And I show you the truth, right? It's never extremely straightforward. It's never just one guy that you have to look at. It's never a clear cut, good, these guys have done this, I do that, I catch up, Bob Shaw and call, I win, right? You have to be able to grab the competitors and start looking at them holistically. And as you catch up, you continue looking, you see what changes, and is an evolving thing. SEO does pay off massively once you do it right, but doing it right is a science that takes some people quite some time, like it took me, right? Well, I hope you learned something in this video, and if you enjoyed what you've watched and what you've learned by all accounts, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow with the next niche in a different city.